Well, True Detective renewed for season 5 with Night Country creator Issa Lopez returning under new HBO overall deal. Well, good for her, I guess. The ratings, sir, seem to show it. We had 3.2 million viewers across HBO and Max. That was for the finals, and that was an uptick of 57% increase over the show's premiere, which that's a good thing. It got 12.7 million cross-platform viewers overall, which that's a good number. That's high. So good for her. But and down here, Francesca Orsi is executive vice president of HBO programming and head of HBO drama series and films. So she's referring to Issa Lopez. She helmed True Detective Night Country from start to finish, never once faltering from her own commendable vision and inspiring us with her resilience both on the page and behind the camera. Alongside Jodie and Callie's, so that's Jodie Foster, Callie Reese, impeccable performances. Well, that's open to interpretation. She's made the installation of the franchise a massive success. We are so lucky to have her as part of our family. Well, good for them. They're just seeing dollar signs there, I guess, in these ratings. That's what matters in Hollywood. That's number one. So we can't forget that. But good for her still. But let's get back to these ratings. So what are we talking about? Okay, even in this 12.7 million, it says cross-platform. What is that? Drawing 3.2 million across HBO and Max, and that finale. Well, that's HBO and Max. That's streaming included. So season 4 is the first season to include streaming numbers in these overall ratings. 1 through 3 didn't have that. HBO Go was around, but that matrix wasn't used until this is the first season. So that's pretty big. That's a big bump. And let's not forget, this season did have the benefit of the episode that was premiered on a Friday because of the Super Bowl. And don't think they didn't know that when they were looking at these overall numbers. So that came out on a Friday all the way through the Super Bowl. I believe that was a 5 million number. So that's a big window. That's a bigger window. That's a big benefit, especially on streaming, because you can go back to that whenever and watch them multiple times. That could be one person. That could be because I doubt that for every number that's in a max account, that's multiple people on one account. We all know that. So, and streaming lives on forever. And it's a very different dynamic now. Season 1 wasn't so heavily promoted in social media back then. Like 1 through 3. 3 I never even knew existed. I found it on Max later on. I found it on streaming. So what we had season 1 is initial viewers watching, because that was in a time when, remember, you watched the initial run on that night that show premiered, and then there was maybe a replay after. Again, streaming wasn't in its time really yet. It was just beginning. It wasn't such a big deal back then as it is now, and now it seems to be waning a bit. A lot of streaming services are going to, putting ads in. They're bumping up their services. They're charging you extra to not run ads. So I believe Max is losing viewership. They're streaming on their services. So these numbers really, they're good, but they're not really what they are. They include a lot of factors that weren't around, uh, when season 1 came out. And if we look at the ratings, uh, 89%. Season 1 still holds an 89%. That's viewers audience score rating, very high. Still actually holds a 91%. over the critics. So that's really good. Season 4, that's a different story completely. 92% on the critics, and which I'm sure a lot of those are paid for reviews, and a 58% audience score. And when you get into it, a lot of ones, a lot of 1.5 stars. There's 4.5, few and far between on those. So a lot of ones, a lot of 1.5s, maybe 2s. There's a 5, but that's not good. A lot of half stars. So overall, season 1 is still the better season. I mean, obviously. And I think a lot of people stuck around. I think a lot of people stuck around with this season, and maybe why you kind of pull some of these numbers here is just to see how bad it could get. I know I was pulled in because I'm a fan of the series. I still say 2 is really bad. 3 was okay. 4 is the worst. Um, but I think a lot of people just stuck around to see what was going to happen with this train wreck, where it was headed. There were so many things thrown out there. Which direction are we going now? I think 2 and 3, you could take those episodes out and still have us watch this series, and I don't think it would change a thing. But anyways, I just think people just stuck around to just see how bad it could get. And anyways, well, let me know what you think. Please subscribe, hit the like. Let me know what you think in the comments, and take care and have a good day. Bye bye.